Let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Caught right side. It's Lewis. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Here's Rodgers to throw. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Throwing now is Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. Whoosh. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 43 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't. But it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. This is caught. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 33 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they get in for the opening drive score, and they go for two. They kept the kicker lonesome over there. They said, we don't need you this time.
Kickers? Who needs kickers for PATs?
Be nice now.
We want them for field goals, not for PATs. It's a new tone setter for this team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. From the 44, Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
On 2nd and 12, Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 26.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They'll run on 1st down. Connor, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they get on the board, trailing now 8-3. So we had the touchdown and 2-point conversion to start the game. At least they're able to come back and get 3 on the board for their opening drive.
Yeah, and most coaches will always say, just give me something on the opening drive. Anything you can put up on the board, you feel better about things. And in this case, I like the fact that they resisted the urge to try and match them big because just get the points on the board. You're okay, even though they put 8 on you to begin with.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Rodgers now to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork. Knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up 1st down, too.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Rodgers going to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. 1 quarter in the books, 8-3 our score. The Packers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. The veteran tight end Mercedes Lewis, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little tricks.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now on fourth down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed fourth down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Gets it to Smith-Schuster on the jet sweep. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. On first down, it's Connor, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
12 yards there and a first down. They'll run on first down. It's Connor. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the 36, Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Connor. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. That's complete to his running back, Connor.
That goes in the category of a play that the defense is going to cherish and excites them. A completion, yes, you give up the pass, but no gain. I mean, that's exactly what you want on defense.
And sets up the 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. 2 minutes to play in the first half of an 8-3 game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. It's a loss of 11 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Well, they were going draw play there. The defense wasn't fooled. They sniffed it out.
I think they're going to have to go back and take a few more acting classes because that's what a lot of that is. You've got to influence them to think that it's going to be a pass play and have them drop out and maybe the defensive front coming forward and find yourself some space. In this case, no one was fooled and ended up spilling that play pretty well. It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Rodgers now going to throw again. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. So we've reached halftime here. A score you don't see that often, 8-3. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. A gutsy call there. Yates at the locker room with a lead. Tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They're already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval as a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger able to hit his tight end Grimble. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And a 2nd field goal here gets them back within a couple at 8-6 now. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
They're going to line up to go for this on 4th down. Rodgers stays on the field. Here we go on 4th down with Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger. And it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And they're going to take the lead here as it's now 9-8. All 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you can't score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, or if they'll come back and haunt them later on.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the 3rd quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 47 yards.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On play action, it's Rodgers. And this is incomplete.
Got to give credit to both defenses because they've been able to keep the points down. And despite that incompletion, I like the way he's playing. He's putting up decent numbers. What he has to do, find a way to make that sound read and hit that one home run before this one's over.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 29 yards. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. Rodgers to throw once more. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Now Connor. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. Ben leaves to Connor on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Boy, not deterred from those first two failed attempts. They're going to go a third time here on fourth down. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards, a big play there on fourth. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the fourth down conversion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Rodgers to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. T.J. Watt able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense. Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Again, a run with Connor, and this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 39. And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. That was a pretty impressive touchdown play. Those broken tackles, those weren't easy to get by.
No, they really weren't. And they've had trouble tackling throughout this ball game. But on this particular play, how about that move? Or I should say moves with an S, because I don't care if you were a great tackler. You had trouble getting him on the ground on that play.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The third time wasn't a charm. They got the first 2 2-point tries. Still have the lead, but couldn't get the third.
Okay, so they didn't get this one, but I have to ask you, what matchup are they seeing that they feel that confident to go for 2 so often?
Yeah, and we talk about this a lot, but it has to be something, you're right, that they saw all week, correct?
Definitely game plan for, felt good about being aggressive and going for it, and right up until that one, they had gotten 2 for 2.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on second down. Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. And the Steelers on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Now it's Roethlisberger. Screen pass to Connor. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now it's Roethlisberger. 19-yard. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Here's Roethlisberger. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave this deep.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Yeah, that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Here's J.K. Scott now. And surprisingly, this is the... And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. But he will not make the 1st down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like...
And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
Boswell good with the extra point. So with 14 seconds on the clock, they've got to go with the onside kick. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rodgers throwing here. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Jones. And he is going to be stopped here at the line of scrimmage, and time is going to expire in this football game. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and this one boiled down in the end, Charles, to simply too much Aaron Rodgers.
We've seen this many times before, haven't we? And I'm sure we'll see it again in the future. Extreme confidence in his abilities, extreme confidence in his teammates, never thinks a game is out of reach because his right arm can equalize anything a defense can put out there.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.